Alright guys, what's going on? It's your boy Ryan here. Okay, this video right here, man, I gotta get this out of here, man. I gotta get out of here. You already saw the title. I gotta get it out of here, man, because it's just crazy. It's crazy. I haven't heard a single person, make this. Now, Review Tech USA beat me to the punch to this one, so shout out to him. But I did plan on doing this video. Okay, so you already know I beat the Xbox extremist point across. There's no counters whatsoever to anything I've said, so I'm gonna move that to the side for this right now. I'm gonna give those guys a break for right now, just for this one right here. But if you guys remember, back when the Nintendo Wii U came out, back when the Wii came out, remember how dudes was going crazy, the Nintendo fanboys really were going crazy saying, oh, we don't need third-party support, we buy Nintendo platforms for Nintendo-only games. Remember that? Remember that was their main shtick. We buy Nintendo platforms for just Nintendo-only games. And everybody was scratching their head saying, well, here's the thing. That's cool and all, but you need third-party support to sell a console. Yes, the Wii sold amazing without third-party support, but let's be real here. The Wii didn't really get sold off of games alone. It really got sold off of a gimmick, which was motion controls. Nintendo perfected motion controls, and that took over with the casuals, and the casuals bit the hook, and the Nintendo Wii sold well. It sold amazing. But if you look at the Wii U, they tried the exact same thing, only with the tablet market, and as you clearly saw, it didn't really, get that much. Yes, it was, a lot of people say it was underwhelming. Like, a lot of people said it was underwhelming. A lot of people said it was a good console. It just lacked the content. I'm going to be 50-50 with this. I'm just going to say, it was a console that just didn't really match well. That's what I'll say. I'll say it just didn't shape up well with the competition, because let's be real here. When it came out, it was still inferior to that of the PS3 and the 360, the Wii U. So, I mean, I don't know what Nintendo was trying to do with the Wii U. I really don't. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough they gimped it to where third-party devs didn't want to take advantage of it, but they gimped it to the point where it was even behind the PS3 and 360. And you look at that and you go, why is this console so underpowered? Instead of just having, what it needs to have to push, to push things. But they didn't do that. And you always had the Nintendo apologists in the corner saying, we don't need third-party support. And third-party support is garbage. Third-party support does not sell. Third-party support is not going to do nothing for Nintendo. Yet, if you look at how the Nintendo Switch is doing now, you notice how their entire tone has changed drastically. Now, before I list these games and get to my point, I want to say right now, you Nintendo fanboys, you owe me, you owe Black Bond, you owe Review Tech USA, you owe every other Nintendo channel that was like, especially these Nintendo, just the people who love Nintendo to the most, where they actually post gameplay and videos on YouTube and they deal with Nintendo's policies. But you owe everybody, according to them people who actually said the exact same thing I'm about to say, or who said the same thing I'm saying about third-party support with Nintendo, you owe everybody a thank you, because if it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for everybody else speaking their mind, guess what? You wouldn't have the third-party support on the Nintendo Switch. It would be the exact repeat of what happened last gen and the gen before, and that is common sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and list some games. Now, keep in mind, there is 3 times more games than this. Keep that in mind. There's more games than this, but I'm just gonna list these particular games, because these particular games right here completely just it hits the point on the head right here. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. You already know Elder Scrolls Skyrim was already, rumored. We got that and everything, so it was confirmed. And we got it. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch, right? Great. Doom 2016 edition. Again, it's not 60 frames per second, but guess what? It's Doom. It's a game. It's coming to Nintendo. LA Noire, probably one of the biggest releases coming to the Nintendo Switch. That's if the GTA rumors are true. But LA Noire is coming to the Switch. And this is the, the first Rockstar game we've had on Nintendo Switch in years. Really, it's been that long since we had a Rockstar game on a Nintendo platform. That's officially coming to Nintendo. And then we have Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and a game that I pretty much despise, even though I platinumed it. I know I'm pathetic. I platinumed this game with my friend, but again, I hated it. I despised it. Payday 2 is also coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you factor these games in, why do I have these games listed? Because these games are mature, adult-rated games. Remember how people said Nintendo Nintendo doesn't need adult-rated games. All they need is mature games that are for everybody. This is why I said by options, people. You might not like the games as a Nintendo dude, but guess what? That doesn't mean the next person beside you might not like those games. Those games appease those people and bring them in here. You really think somebody wasn't going to buy this console if it wasn't in there? Come on, man. Let's be real here. It's not just a gimmick that's selling this console. It's the fact that it has variety. It has options, which the Wii U did not have, especially at launch and in its lifespan. Let's be real here. The Wii U, the last good game the Wii U had was also ironically released on the Nintendo Switch day one. That was Breath of the Wild. After that, before that, there was nothing coming out for the Wii U. And this is why I said by third-party support is very important. When you wait for first-party games, if you have a console that's just sold on first-party games and you have nothing else to fill in the gaps, the waiting times, what does that remind you of? That reminds you of the Wii U, doesn't it? Remember, you guys were waiting 3 years, 2 years, and not a single game was coming out for the Wii U. Not a single game was filling the void to help you guys out to get those games. This is what I mean by this. You need games to fill in those gaps. You need third-party games to fill in those gaps for the bigger releases. When those bigger releases come, guess what? Your consumer base is already taken care of when it comes to third-party games to keep them at bay until the major sellers come out, and then they can play the major sellers on their console, and then they'll be happy. But of course, that didn't fly last generation, and that almost didn't fly at the start of this generation. Pretty much, you know, people were still in denial, saying we don't need third-party support. You're a Nintendo hater because you're talking about third-party support left and right. And it's like, dude, me and Blackmon, even Blackmon really in particular is the main one who talks about it. But again, he was right on the money. I told you, I said this, man. You need third-party support. You can't rely on just first party. You need both. It's a team. It's a team effort, man. You need both. You need both to entice the consumer to invest in your platform over the other. And that's just common sense. Now, again, I might not, a lot of people might not agree with that, and it's fine. You don't have to agree, but the numbers and the overall units being sold of the Nintendo Switch say it all, man. That's enough for it all, man, right there. It's already pretty much expected to outsell the Wii U's lifetime sales. Already. It's already at half the Wii U's lifetime sales. What, the Wii U sold, what, 10 million, 12 million units in its lifetime? This console's already at 5 million. And over, and with just, what, 4 or 5 months on the market. So yes, this console's doing amazing. Something that the Wii U couldn't do because this console has an option. It has options. It's not just a gimmick, it's the options. It's the way you can play. It's the variety of games to play. It's everything of that nature. That's what's going on for Nintendo. And that's why Nintendo is doing so much better as opposed to last generation. And I'm proud of Nintendo for listening to the audience that matters. Yes, they're still keeping their core audience in mind. That's what their hardcore market is too. They're keeping their hardcore fans in line, but at the same time, they understand that casuals and everybody else don't just bite the hook when it comes to gimmicks. They bite the hook when it comes to having options along with the gimmicks. You can have the gimmicks. If you have the gimmicks in the first party along with a cool gimmick like Nintendo, guess what? You're destined for success. You're destined to do well. And that is great. Nintendo's got the first party that's going to help them in the long run, and they got the third party. And guess what? It's all because we demanded better, something that Nintendo fanboys simply did not want to do last generation and at the early start of this generation. Now, do you see what happens when we demand better? I hope you do. If not, well, hey, hopefully your negativity doesn't affect the next console, hopefully. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yes, you owe us all a thank you in the long run. Shout out to everybody who subscribed to the channel. Welcome. I'm out of here. Deuces.